ace jack. Got my bullets and diamonds and I ain't holding back. I'm all in. Yeah, I'm gonna kick it. Pocket rocket's a ticket. If you got what it takes, you can play high stakes. I'm all in. These ladies ain't ladies unless they're your ladies. Put your hand on a monster, that's what it takes. And if you got what it takes, then you can play high stakes.
Previously on High Stakes Poker, the cards fell Mimi Tran's way and she used every one of them to beat players like they owed her money.
Wow.
Vultures was circling above a frustrated Daniel Negreanu, whose losses have surpassed the $500,000 mark.
Yeah, I tried it again. You got it.
And the eccentric Bob Stupak was playing in a totally different time zone.
Are we talking about history now?
Tonight we'll see if Mimi can protect her winnings, how the cards fall for Daniel, and whether he can hold his composure under mounting stress. From the Golden Nugget Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, we're playing High Stakes Poker. AJ Benzi here alongside poker analyst Gabe Kaplan. Gabe, this cash game is almost getting out of control. Mimi Tran's won $250,000 already, while Daniel Negreanu's down over $500,000. We're talking incredible amounts of cash here, but is Mimi playing that much better than Daniel?
Not really. Mimi's playing well. She's had great cards, and her cards have held up. On the other hand, Daniel's lost a few pots by bluffing, but most of his money he's lost in hands where he's had the best hand, and unlike Mimi, his hands haven't held up.
Well, another evening is coming to an end. Can we expect another spectacular finish like the last time between Barry Greenstein and Sammy Farha?
This is a cash game. Anything could happen. Players are playing for hundreds of thousands of dollars of their own money, and it could all end up in the middle of the table at any time. And I predict emotions are going to start to run real high.
Well, let's join the action. The cards are in the air.
There's Bob Stupak. He's spent more time cruising around the table than playing. He needs a 57 Chevy. Just cruise around here a little bit.
As Stupak developed the Stratosphere Hotel, I think the $100,000 he bought in with is starting to collect dust. Shawn Sheikhan lost $75,000 last time. He's starting tonight with $100,000. Johnny Chan's up $250,000. And Daniel Negreanu's got a 10-9 of hearts. And he raises to $2,600.
Daniel is going to gamble with this 10-9 of hearts. It's a hand you can trap other hands with. He is stuck $500,000. He feels like gambling. Puts in that $2,600 raise.
26 straight.
Stupak, of course, is out.
It's been a while since I played with Sammy.
And here is not one of the hands you can trap. Jack 9. Sammy Farhar's got him out kicked again.
And especially with this flop, it's a 7-3-9 different suits. Both players pair their nines. Daniel bets $4,000.
4,000.
And Daniel, again, is in big trouble in this hand. He's going to need a 10 or some backdoor straight combination.
Everybody did. I'm losing. God knew what you were doing. I'm guilty by...
Keep in mind, Farhar's won about $250,000 from Daniel alone.
And Sammy just calls.
I don't care. I know it.
Turn cards at 10 of clubs.
10.
He got
there
it.
It is. Daniel has drawn out on Sammy.
And Negreanu bets $10,000. Is he going to finally win a hand from Farha here?
Sammy's going to need an 8 or a jack. He calls quickly, a full show of bravado. He did not like that 10.
River cards another 10.
Wow.
Shawn Sheikhan says wow for no apparent reason. He doesn't know that Daniel's made a full house here. And Sammy would need 2 more cards to draw out on Daniel at this point. And Daniel bet $60,000.
Wow.
Wow is right. Now, that's a really strong bet.
You might do what Freddy did with bottom pair.
Because Sammy is thinking, well, Daniel could have had a straight draw to start out. He could have had an 8-10, open-end straight, which would make him 3 10s. It's a strong bet. And there's very few hands that Sammy can think of right now that he can beat.
Well, let's see if Farha gives a chunk of money back to Daniel here. Pot's at almost $95,000. Nope.
I had it, Bill.
You can have whatever you want. Anything you want, you can
I
have.
need an 8 or a 4, buddy.
10-9, we got.
10-8 is done.
I had it. I said he could have anything he wanted.
Oh, you could have anything. You have 9-10.
He could have anything he wanted.
And open end. Well, if you could have anything you want, you must have 9-10 at least.
Yeah.
You're good.
So Daniel takes down a pot worth almost $95,000, and at this point, anything he takes from Farha is good news for Daniel.
Johnny Chan is out. He's throwing a lot of hands away. Daniel's got a pair of 7s here. And again, he's going to raise to 2,600, try and keep his little streak going.
All right, Daniel. Keep trying, buddy.
Farha's in
All
with
right.
deuces and some words of encouragement for Daniel. Oh, look at this, Gabe. Is that Stupak
Trying.
reaching for chips? Yes, it is.
Not only looks like he's going to call here, looks like he's going to raise.
I'm gonna raise.
And he is going to raise. I wonder what kind of hand Bob Stupak has. Whoa, what a surprise.
Yeah.
Does that shock anybody? Bob Stupak will raise if he gets the Rockets.
Oh.
And he says 20,000 more.
How much more are you playing, Bob?
Nothing now. I already got the 50.
How much you got in front of you?
About 80 more.
About 80 more?
Yeah.
Now, Daniel is seriously thinking about calling here.
90.
He knows he probably does not have the best hand, but he wants to bust Bob Stupak. Plus, he's stuck $500,000,
Yeah.
and a 7 comes off of there. Be a great opportunity to win that 80,000 more that Bob Stupak has.
And Negreanu calls, so he wants to gamble.
Now, will Sammy Farha gamble with his deuces?
You're joining us too, Sammy?
I think I have the best hand, buddy.
I think Sammy realizes with Bob Stupak in there that he doesn't have the best hand. Just a question of, does he want to gamble?
Right.
And the answer is no.
Nope.
If I'm gonna win this hand.
So Daniel Negreanu,
I'm going to check
He's
in
a
the
7,
dark. I don't want to see what
as
happens.
he checks in the dark.
Queen 8-10 on the flop, 2 diamonds.
What does it say?
What does it
It
say?
says Queen 10-8.
Queen, huh?
Queen 10-8.
All in.
Now, did you notice when Bob Stupak said all in, he quickly looked at Daniel Negreanu, saying, please don't have 3 queens or 3 10s.
Thank you, Daniel.
You're welcome, bud.
Well, I won twice. 5 from him, 20.
Do you have anything good?
And Daniel quickly went out. Stupak won the
Good
hand.
I did.
You had ace king or you had a pair?
I had a
Well,
big
that's
pair.
debatable.
The blind nut catches the squirrel. We're back at the Golden Nugget Resort in downtown Vegas playing high-stakes poker. Well, if you blinked, you missed it. Bob Stupak just won his first and only hand with pocket aces, and now Freddy Deeb is getting up to stretch his legs.
Where you going, Freddy?
I'll be back. For 5 minutes.
He's going south, baby.
Can't go south over here,
He's going
Freddy.
south and going north.
There's cameras, though. There's a lot of cameras, Johnny.
So what?
You're right. So what?
I guarantee you.
Hey, I think you're right.
Not too many things can pass my eyes.
Johnny Chan has just said that he thinks that Freddy Deeb has taken chips off the table. That's what they call going south, which is highly unethical.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that in a cash game. And Johnny Chan feels he saw Freddy Deeb take chips off the table and leave. And
Crazy
Sammy
daisy.
Farha kind of concurred,
Normal thing.
said, I think you're right. I don't know if Sammy was serious. He was smiling when he said it. You know, we can have our producers go back
Yeah.
and see how much money.
Because
Sammy-
everything's recorded, everything's on camera, so nothing's going to get by us.
Yes, and we will give you an update on that. And knowing Freddy Deeb, I'd be very surprised
Yeah.
if he did that. Meanwhile, catching up in this hand, before the flop,
Diamonds. Wait a minute.
Sammy with a pair of 7s raised it up
watch out.
2,600.
Think about it.
Daniel
You better
called
watch
with his
out.
queen 9. Here's the flop.
diamond.
Sammy's flop 3 7s, bet 7,000, and Daniel with a pair of queens called him.
Turn cards is 6. Farha bets 20 grand.
Now, all Daniel has is a pair of queens with a mediocre kicker.
Could I hit a diamond? That's the question.
It's your unlucky diamond. Diamond, you're unlucky, whatever you play, your hand or not.
No, I gotta hit one on you, bro.
No.
Daniel calls 20,000. Now, as soon as he started talking about hitting a diamond, Sammy knew he really wasn't on a flush draw.
Check. Of course, it's the 3 of clubs.
Daniel was trying to figure out if Sammy was on a flush or a straight draw.
And now Sammy bets $40,000.
And Daniel knows if Sammy was on a draw, that 3 of clubs couldn't have helped him.
I wasn't on a diamond draw.
You lied. See what you get when you lie.
You surprised me.
Daniel is thinking about all the hands he can beat.
Sorry, I'll need a minute here. Oh, I think you got me this time.
I think I do.
I think you do too.
So far, I never lied to you.
So far, but you're due.
No.
That was the key word. You cut the tail.
And Shawn Sheikhan, continuing a precedent he set, says something that is absolutely irrelevant to the situation here.
I'm definitely beat here.
Daniel is losing a lot of money. Normally, I think this would be an easy laydown for Daniel. But sometimes, when you get stuck, you start to think hands are good or might be good that aren't good. And he's in that mental state right now.
Whoa, that wasn't a call. I'm definitely beat here.
He is talking himself into calling.
Yeah.
Definitely got to be beat, but
Way off his game.
just curious.
Yep, he's curious, all right. A $40,000 call on curiosity.
Brother.
I told you, Danny. You're losing.
I knew
right?
it.
And
I
I'm
knew you were.
trying-
I knew you were telling the truth, but I played the hand so weird that I thought maybe you might try to.
Well,
rob me.
once again,
No,
Sammy
I'm in the
Farha
tournament.
gets the
How
best
many
of Daniel
times?
Negreanu. This time takes down a pot worth over $140,000. And Freddy Deeb is back just in time for the next hand. And we have found out from our producers that Freddy Deeb, in fact, did not take any money off the table.
I did not think so. And Daniel Negreanu raises to 2,600 with the king-queen offsuit.
Looks like me and you.
Why? I don't count?
Every hand. I don't think
You're-
you're
you're
gonna play.
south
I doubt
already.
it. You went south.
He already
already.
went south.
Freddy's speedrolling already.
He's already started with the going south.
Freddy Deeb is trying to figure out if they're serious because they are accusing him now in a joking way, but they're serious.
Yeah.
They're trying to find out if he took chips off the table. And Freddy Deeb, knowing, I know his personality, he's not going to like this if he realizes they're serious.
Well, nobody would like it.
No, they're accusing him of taking chips off the table. In this hand, Freddy Deeb's got a pair of nines.
we got
Sammy's
the
got a
rest
pair
of
of
it out.
fives with an open-end
Yeah,
straight
we
draw.
free roll
Sammy
it.
bet 7,000. Freddy just called him. I think Freddy's still thinking about the accusation.
Yeah. Deuce of clubs on the turn.
Sammy checked. Freddy bet 17,000.
And Farha folds.
How much did you go south for?
South with what?
Chips.
Didn't go south with nothing. What are you talking about?
Oh, somebody. I thought you took chips off the table.
What?
I thought you took chips off the table.
Why would
That's
I
what he
take
was
chips
saying.
off the
He was
table?
saying you're going south, like you went south.
South what? I went south to smoke.
I go north. What are you doing?
Why would I take more chips off the
I
table?
go north.
Why are you saying that?
Because that's what I thought he said. I thought you were joking that
Who
you
said
did that.
that?
He knows your habits, bro.
He knows my habit?
That's what he thinks.
I thought you were joking that that's what we did.
You guys can find something else to talk about. Don't talk about that. That's all I can tell you.
Okay, they're laughing and talking about going south, but what's the big deal here, really?
Well, going south is no laughing matter. Going south means you're taking chips off the table. And if Freddy Deeb really did go south, then he's out of line. If he didn't, and they're bringing up that kind of conversation, then they're out of line. The bad thing about going south is if you're in a poker game, $100,000, and let's say you're winning $150,000, and you take your original $100,000 off the table, then the other players can't win that from you. Someone who's losing does not have the opportunity to win all his money back, and it's really a no-no in a poker game of this size.
Well, they're talking about going south, so let's go north for a commercial break. Welcome back to High Stakes Poker.
He had a lot of money.
You know?
He still had about 150,000.
Come on, why you guys, how you gonna disrespect the man like that? I mean, he's
I
a,
wasn't the one who said it.
I mean, that's our line, Daniel. I mean,
I wasn't even the one who said it.
He is a gentleman. He's got some dignity. Some.
Daniel is never.
Yeah, you guys cannot outplay me, so you're gonna try to find some bullshit to talk about.
I didn't say. I'm backing
No,
you
but
up,
I
Freddy.
say you can find some bullshit to talk about with the cameras on.
Freddie, I'm on your
Talking
side,
about
buddy.
going south, taking chips off the table.
What are you talking about? I'm on your side, buddy.
Whether
You
you're
did
on
that.
my
I wasn't the one
side
who
or
said
not.
it.
I don't care
Okay.
who say it. Listen, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Daniel didn't say no.
I never said you did
He
it.
didn't say no.
Johnny said it.
Yeah, I said it. I apologize. I was only kidding.
I don't care if you say it. You say whatever you want.
He
It's
does.
a free country. It's a
Free
free
country.
country. That's why we love it.
Well, Shawn Sheikhan pointed the finger at Johnny Chan, saying Johnny started it. Johnny apologized then, and hopefully this is over.
Yeah.
And we won't hear any more about going south. In this hand, Sammy raised before the flop with a pair of eights. Johnny called him. Sammy bet on the flop, and Johnny called. And now Johnny's checked. He still has tens with an ace kicker. I think Sammy thinks his eights are the best hand here, and he's bet again.
$30,000 from Farha. Now, Johnny started the game with $100,000 of his own money. He's won about $150,000 more, and has it beautifully displayed there for everybody to see.
I think Sammy really thinks he has the best hand here, and Johnny's picking up on the fact that Sammy thinks he has the best hand. Sammy's putting Johnny on a draw,
Yeah.
and Johnny is not sure if his ace-10 is good.
And Johnny Chan folds.
It doesn't matter.
We're just joking around.
No, I know, but I mean, it doesn't matter. You can joke. You can joke about it, no problem.
So you never answered the question, how much did you go sell?
About 100. About 100,000. I put 100,000 in my pocket.
Why do you get so hard though, Freddy?
So who said I went south? Anyway, that's what I want to know.
I
No,
did.
serious.
I did.
No, I want to talk
I
about
did.
it. I want to talk
I
about
did.
it.
Obviously you do it. That's why you're so worried about it.
I do, yeah. Yeah.
See, I'm just kidding,
Okay,
Freddy.
call the
Relax.
floorman over here. Call the floorman. Serious.
Freddy, I'm
No, I'm
just
serious.
kidding,
Call the
relax.
floorman. Stop the game. Stop the game. No, stop the game. No, stop the game. I'm serious. No, this is bull.
Doesn't $500,000, Freddie. I'm kidding
I don't
with
care.
you.
I don't care. This
Why
is bull.
not? I said I'm kidding.
No, because if you're serious, I want the floorman to check the
You
camera.
think I'm serious, Freddie?
You know.
You're acting like Bob right now.
No, listen. You
You're
can't.
acting like Bob
You
right
can't
now.
be. You can't be.
Quit trying to
You
show
can't
up
be
for
insulting
cameras.
me like that. That's an insult.
Freddie, I'm
If
joking.
you can't beat me, don't insult me like that on camera.
Freddie, relax.
You know, you or anybody.
Let's deal. Come on, let's go.
No, don't deal.
What do you mean no deal? He doesn't want to ante. We got to play.
Bob, sit on the
deal him
side.
out.
Sit right,
Deal him
Bob.
out.
Freddie,
Deal
he
him
told
out.
you who said it. It's over.
Who said it?
It's over. I'm not going to
I
repeat
didn't
it.
say
He
it,
said it,
Freddie.
and it's over. Let's go.
Who said it? Call the floorman
You
over
know
here.
who
Yeah.
said it, Freddie. He
Call
already
the floorman.
apologized to you.
Me?
You said you were sorry, and he said he was sorry. And I'm sorry too.
I think
So what the do you want to hear?
I want the floorman to know what's going on.
Why don't we just play? There's only another hour.
Come on, we only
Actually,
got
deal
30
with
minutes.
Let's even deal him out. The
Let's
guy's
go.
losing $1 million
Let's go. Who cares, Freddie?
in a minute.
Who cares?
Bob, I go to smoke a cigarette, and I come back, and they say
Just
to me,
make
how
sure
much
they
did you
don't
go
have it
south
on
with?
TV, and that's all. It's over.
You know? But this is to be on camera anyway. When they try to, accuse me of taking chips off the table. That's an insult. Joking is one thing.
But this is the best part of the whole.
Joking
poker.
is one thing. We can joke, we can talk.
I know they're gonna
But
play this.
they can't insult my integrity about this stuff on TV and get away with it. So,
No, that's all right.
yeah. So I'm better be off the TV too. All this,
I didn't even say nothing.
you know.
You can show him the tape. You can be a judge.
I can play any of you heads up for any amount of money you can borrow and get. All of you.
Why are you getting so
Why? Because this is integrity, Danny.
Couple
Who
months ago,
questioned
before
your
he won a
integrity?
tournament, he wouldn't
Who
say a
said you
word.
rat hole?
All of you when I came back.
We asked you if you did.
Yeah, why would you ask me?
Because we're joking. That's a joke.
That's not a joke, no. That's not something to joke about.
We can joke about Bob. We can joke about everybody else. We can't joke about you.
But not on that, not about stuff like this.
Because if you take it personal, why do you take it so personal?
Why?
Yeah, if somebody meant to do that,
Because, you know
send
why
it
I
straight
take it
ahead.
personal? Because this is not something
You
to.
gotta play this one now. I mean,
Because
you
you're
give him
questioning my
flower.
integrity. That's
Me?
why.
Freddie, we all
Whoever
know who you
asked me,
are.
whoever
Freddie, we
asked
all
me,
know who you are and what
whoever
you're about.
asked me.
You
We
think
all know
anybody
who you are
cares?
and what you're about. Relax.
Known you for years. I've never known.
Whoever
I'm
asked
gonna
me.
put, I'm gonna put 100 in my pocket here. They're going south. I don't care.
Grab a stack.
And he can say whatever you want about me.
Well, Bob Thompson, I
Okay.
think, calmed down the situation a little bit.
This for you. Small roses.
Thank you, baby.
You got cards coming.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you.
And just like that, everything's rosy again. Welcome back to High Stakes Poker. Gabe, Freddy Deeb just went off out there, but it looks like everything's calmed down now.
Well, poker players can be like old hens. They talk and they talk and they talk, and sometimes they don't know what they're talking about. Freddy Deeb is a proud guy, and his reputation was on the line. He wasn't going to stand for anybody saying that he took money off the table, and Freddie was vindicated by the cameras. I have to give Daniel credit, though. Daniel wanted to know. Daniel's a big loser, and he just asked, did you take money off the table? Most players would rather have someone do that than kid around and joke when you know they're really serious.
Exactly. Well, at least it's over now, and here's what Freddie had to say.
So I went to smoke a cigarette, And somebody, I think, tried to get Daniel's team in. That's what it looks like to me. Because Daniel is losing a lot of money in the game. He's losing like $500,000 at that point. Somebody told him, Freddy is going south, meaning that I'm taking chips off the table. If I don't like something, I even stopped the game. I said, hold it, you can't deal the game anymore. You have to call the floor man. And they all said, no, we're stuck. I said, no, you ain't gonna deal the game. You have to stop the game, and I stopped the game. And said what I have to say, and then I said, okay, now we can play. After they all apologized. You helped me out.
Well, order seems to have been restored to the table here. Everybody's calmed down a little bit. Freddie made an interesting statement. He thinks this whole thing was done to try and set Daniel off a little more. I don't agree with that.
Bob, you gotta
Well, things got a little ugly, but the game continues.
You either swing this way or that. There you go. Now you're doing it.
And Bob Stupak is getting up and walking away from the table in a very unusual move here.
Shawn Sheikhan picks up a monster hand, ace-king. He raises the $2,600. Now Todd Brunson, Sheikhan's arch enemy, calls with the 10-8 of diamonds.
I think Bob Stupak is renting an apartment in the corner of our set here.
Flops a 3-queen ace with 2 diamonds.
Shawn has flopped top pair with a great kicker, and Todd Brunson has a flush draw.
Sheikhan bet $4,600. Brunson bought in for $100,000. He's about even.
I think Todd knows if Shawn's going to bet here, Shawn's got an ace.
And Todd calls. John calls a 5 of clubs. $12,200 bet for Shawn Sheikhan.
That's really a small bet here. Shawn should have definitely bet more money here. Todd's priced in. Todd has to call and draw to his flush. Shawn should have bet at least $20,000 here.
And we'll go to the river. Deuce of diamonds.
And Todd makes his flush.
Wow.
Looks like Todd's going to bet here. He knows that Shawn isn't going to bet. That diamond's going to scare Shawn.
Well, Brunson bets $35,000.
Bet $35,000.
Now, what Shawn is thinking about here, he's thinking about, is it possible that Todd has a worse ace? Ace-Jack, Ace-10, Ace-9. And could Todd be trying to buy the pot here by representing a flush or a straight? Or even aces up?
And Sheikhan surrenders to his foe.
It was a good laydown. Normally, I think Shawn and Todd would have something to say to each other after this hand, but right now I think enough has been said at this table for the minute.
Todd Brunson, I've been playing with him more than anybody else probably in the cash game, playing 4,800, 1 in 2,000. I love playing with Todd because, you know, he doesn't hold nothing back. He gambles, and he just, when me and him are in the pot, we just put extra raises in all the time just on principality. We just always trying to, you know, hurt each other in the game one way or another and then laugh about it. So
Those raises on principality usually take place when they play in Monaco.
Yeah.
Whole royal family sits down and
Plus you won 5
raises
pots,
on
right?
principality.
Yeah, Albert's a great player.
No, sure shouldn't.
Well, Todd's going to laugh a little more after winning that last hand. He's up about $45,000 now. Johnny Chan raised to $3,000 with a king-queen of spades. And now Brunson, another good hand. Ace-queen offsuit, he's going to re-raise to $11,000.
No, it's about the show, but it's courtesy for the players.
And Johnny calls.
So we'll see a flop. 8, 7, 9, different suits, and Brunson immediately leads out with $15,000.
That's a very brave bet with that flop. It'd be hard for Johnny Chan to miss that flop completely. He'd have to have a hand just like he has, or maybe an underpair. But Todd Brunson, like Shawn Sheikhan says, likes to fire the chips. And he's firing at this pot.
And Chan gives in. So Todd Brunson will take down another pot. That's 2 in a row. This one's worth almost $40,000.
And there's Bob Stupak, who's checked out of his apartment, is now playing heads up against the barmaid.
He wants to change the game.
But the game waits for no one.
We'll change
And
it
play
after this.
continues.
We're playing something.
Brunson with pocket nines. Raises to $1,800.
18.
I'm going to raise.
Farha re-raises to $9,800 with 4 deuce of hearts.
That's Sammy Farha. That's his game. He's got a feeling in this hand he's going to play his 4 deuce of hearts.
And Brunson calls, so we'll head to the flop. King 7-8, 2 diamonds. Todd's nines are way out in front. Action's on Farha. Sammy's got a couple of high rises over there in front of him of chips. The white chip, $5,000 a piece. The pinks are $500 a piece. And the green, the short stack there, is $1,000 a piece. Sammy bets $25,000 on 4 high.
Well, Sammy took the lead in this hand before the flop. He's not going to give up. He's going to take a shot here at the flop, hoping that Todd doesn't have a pair or doesn't have a king, doesn't have diamonds. Sammy wants to win the pot right here, and he does.
Wow.
Todd lays down his nines.
Sammy Farha breaks out a can of aggression and wins the hand on a stone-cold bluff. From the Golden Nugget Resort in downtown Las Vegas, we're playing high-stakes poker. Well, the best players in the world have gathered, each player hoping to beat everyone out of hundreds of thousands of dollars. They'll play a few more hands, then call it a night.
Just playing some serious skills.
And Sammy Farha, who just bluffed with a deuce 4, now picks up a pair of queens. Things are breaking right for Sammy.
Yep.
26 total.
Freddy Deeb's got pocket tens.
Freddy chooses just to call with his 10s.
Shawn Sheikhan's in with an ace-deuce offsuit. 3 players remain. Flop is a 6-3 king with 2 clubs.
Now, none of these 3 players like that king. Shawn was hoping for an ace, and Freddy and Sammy were hoping for undercards, but Freddy's going to make a little feeler bet here.
$3,500 from Freddy Deeb. Sheiky's out.
I'll raise.
Well, Freddy made a feeler bet, and Sammy's going to make a feeler raise here.
A $15,500 raise from Sammy Farha.
When you're in the groove, you're in the groove. There aren't too many people who would raise on the flop when someone bets out, king on board, and you're holding a pair of queens.
Up and Deeb folds, so Sammy Farha takes down another
I'm
pot.
happy with it.
Huh?
I'm happy. I mean, I don't want you to call.
And the money continues to pile up in front of Farha. He's playing on a different level tonight, and the cash just keeps pouring in.
He was right. He didn't want Freddy to call. He was telling the truth, because if Freddy called, that meant Freddy had a king.
Yep. So 6 players are playing right now. We're used to seeing Bob Stupak out of his seat, but Mimi Tran's also taking the powder.
And Daniel has straddled this pot for 1,200. Todd calls with a 7-6 of clubs. Yeah, Mimi Tran is big winner, and she's not too anxious to play a lot of pots right now.
Deeb stays in with a queen-jack offsuit. Sheiky quickly called. And Negreanu finally with a big hand. Aces, he raises to 11,200. And Brunson calls 10,000.
Todd doesn't know that Daniel has aces, but a 6-7 of clubs is a great hand to have against aces. He gets the right flop, he can win a lot of money.
So it's Brunson and Negreanu to the flop. King 8-4 with 2 spades.
And Todd has an inside straight draw, but Daniel's got the rockets.
And Negreanu comes in with a $25,000 bet.
5,000.
Now that is not the right flop for Todd. The only thing Todd could be thinking about here is possibly trying to bluff, but he's not going to do it. And Daniel shows his aces.
I had the hand for it.
What's that? You did? You had the medicine for me?
We're at the Golden Nugget Resort in downtown Las Vegas playing high-stakes poker. Well, it's getting late, so the game will start to wind down for the night. But we've seen just about everything tonight, from Freddy Deeb getting accused of taking money off the table to Bob Stupak actually playing a hand. It's been a wild night.
All right, 6.
Sammy Farha calls with a queen 9 offsuit. Freddy Deeb is in with an 8-7. And Negreanu raises to $4,100 with a 5 deuce of spades.
It worked for Sammy Farha.
I think we're going to let you have it.
You think I want you to let me have it? You seriously think I wanted you to fold?
You're right.
How am I going to win?
You want me to gamble no
So
matter
you win
what.
1,200?
I'll tell you one thing, Daniel. I promise you, I won't ask you to chop this one.
You won't ask me to chop this?
No.
Good.
I'm chopping nothing. I'm playing it.
So Farha and Deeb call. We've got 3 players in. 8 deuce king with 2 hearts.
Daniel's flop bottom pair here, and Freddy Deeb has middle pair. Sammy hasn't flopped anything.
Negreanu leads out with a $6,000 bet.
Daniel's trying to get a rush going. He had aces the last hand. He raised it up here. He's flopped a pair of deuces. It might be the best hand. Most important thing to Daniel is to get on a roll. Win a few hands in a row. Get in stroke. Now, we've noticed that Sammy never likes to throw his hand away right away. Always likes to take pretty much the same amount of time before he throws the hand away.
All right, come on.
Yep, Sammy folds. Now will Freddy Deeb go along as well?
I think Freddy's going to call. He may be thinking about raising.
Yep, $20,000 raise from Freddy Deeb.
I've started to think, AJ, that kings are invisible
Yeah.
at this table. People just do not see the king.
Right.
Daniel bet. Freddy's got second pair and he raises.
And Negreanu's rush is over. Freddy Deeb wins the hand and takes down the pot.
Excellent read by Freddy Deeb.
Well, the game's winding down for the night. There might be another mad dash for a gigantic pot to hold everyone over until the game picks up again next time. We'll see. So Deeb raised to $2,100 with 4 deuce of clubs. And Chan calls with an 8-7 offsuit. Mimi Tran's back.
I'll take a hand next hand.
Brunson picks up an ace-king, big slick, and just calls with it. Farha calls with a king-10 of clubs. So it's 4-lay action.
Call in the dark.
And Johnny Chan would not be playing unless this 7-8 were suited. Freddy Deeb raised it up with a 4 deuce, and the ace-king and king-10 just call. And Freddy's actually got the best hand on the flop here. Freddy's the only person with a pair who's got a pair of 4s, but he checks.
And they check to the turn. King of spades, giving both Brunson and Farha top pair, but Brunson's got the ace kicker.
Sammy's not going to let it go. He
9,000.
leads out and bets 9,000. And finally, the king is visible. Freddy does not play 4th pair against the king. And Todd just calls.
One day you're going to start.
And a case king on the river gives both players 3 kings.
Looks like Todd's going to lead out here and bet.
$17,000 bet from Brunson.
He bet because he doesn't feel that Sammy could have a king here. Maybe Sammy has a queen and he wants to get paid off. He felt if he checked, Sammy would just check it down also.
Normally I raise in a situation like this. I won't do it this time.
Farha just calls, and Todd Brunson's ace gives him the hand.
Serious?
Brunson takes down a nice pot worth $62,000.
Sammy shows his king, and Todd said, hey, if I would have known that, I would have bet more money.
Good hand. Wow. Safest card in the deck, I think, for me.
Kind of unusual hand, and a couple of the players are going over it, wanting to see what the action was.
So what happened on the flop, anyway?
Well, having played in the shadow of a famous father, Todd's really coming into his own now.
The kings in the world.
I think the greatest skill that a poker player can have is a combination of discipline and the ability to recall things that happened in the past. I remember things that happened 40, 50 years ago in poker games, and I remember what happened in that situation, and I apply it to the situation that I'm in today. And as I said, I think my son Todd has got the best recall of any person I've ever known. He remembers things that happened when he was a year old. And if he had the ambition and the drive to really concentrate all his efforts on poker, I think he would be the best player ever.
I don't know how
Not a bad compliment coming from the legend himself, but then again, he is Todd's dad. I mean, Todd's paid his dues, and he's making a name for himself on the poker circuit, so it still counts.
And Bob Thompson is posing for a statue that's going to be erected in the back of our poker room called Cowboy Floorman.
Yes.
I remember the Cowboy Floorman back in '06.
Ruthless. Sheikhan called an 8-9 of spades. Negreanu's in with a 10-8 offsuit, trans out. And Todd Brunson calls with a king-3 of diamonds. Farha's in with a jack-8 offsuit. Deep check, so we have 5 players limping toward the flop. It's 10-9-5, a rainbow of colors.
check.
Daniel and Freddy, a flop top pair here.
Shawn Sheikhan bets $2,200.
That's a value bet, trying to see where his pair of 9s are at.
And Negreanu raises to $4,400.
That's a value raise. He wants to see where his 10s are at. Let's see what Sammy's going to do with an open-end straight draw.
Others.
Farha's going to re-raise here, $19,400.
And that's a value semi-bluff. He doesn't have anything, but he does have the open-end straight draw. It's going to be real hard for Shawn and Daniel to call. They have marginal hands.
Nope, everybody falls, so Sam Farha plays another bluff to perfection.
He felt the pulse of that hand perfectly, made the right raise, and won the pot.
Welcome back to the Golden Nugget in downtown Las Vegas. We're playing high-stakes poker. The players will break for the evening after a couple more hands, but it could be a free-for-all like last time when Barry Greenstein had pocket aces against Sam Farha's 2 kings. They were both all in, and Sammy lucked out by flopping a 3rd king.
I sold my place.
And who can forget that cost Greenstein 180 grand. Right now, Brunson raised it to $2,200 with an ace-deuce of spades.
You get a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom?
Sammy Farha calls with a 7-4 diamonds.
What is that? At the new next to the Bellagio?
Johnny Chan's in with a queen-10 offsuit.
I'm in between you. I'm the same as you, between you and your dad.
How much are they selling them for, Johnny?
I got 2 of them.
Big real estate discussion going on here. The property values in Vegas are being discussed.
1 bedroom.
Only 1 bed?
Yeah.
But they had 2 bedrooms.
I don't
I
think
think
so.
they do.
No, you can get a
So 4
studio
players
and a
remain.
1-bedroom side by side.
And there's Sammy's 3 towers there. It's got a building a 3rd tower.
They are now.
Bob Stupak was checking out real estate values in that 3rd tower. He was
That's the new tower.
thinking of moving in there.
Flop comes deuce 4-5 with 2 clubs.
And Daniel with a pair of 6s still has the best hand here.
Brunson bets $7,000. Sammy calls.
Sammy on a roll calls with a pair of 4s. Daniel's got the overpair. He's also got the inside straight draw.
And he raises to $27,000.
27,000.
Yeah, they know that this is the next to last hand of the night. I feel like gambling.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Size of the pair doesn't matter here. Now, will Sammy call Daniel with a pair of 4s?
Nope.
No. Right away, he threw his hand away. Daniel showed some aggression in that hand and won.
Just raise it. That's it.
Those are the hands I win.
All right, so they just told me this is the last hand.
Thanks a lot.
One more.
This one. Thanks a lot. I mean,
The dealer announced that this is the last hand, so this is the last
this is the
hand.
last time.
Last chance for Sparks to
Raise it,
fly.
Sam. You might get, if you got kings.
Over the board.
You got kings?
All right, I'll raise it. 26.
Sammy raises to $2,600. Deeb's also got ace-9, but suited.
If I got kings, you're right.
So this is the very last hand?
This is the last.
This would be a
Let's
good one to
play.
just
Let's
stick it all
play.
in blind.
At least let's all call.
How could I fold? It was the last hand.
Next hand.
Tomorrow.
Next hand. Next
Tomorrow.
hand.
Deeb calls.
Tomorrow, this is the last hand.
Bob
should all
Stupak
chop
might
up.
call. He's in the spar at the Venetian Hotel at this point, having a Mai Tai,
How could he get paid?
sitting in the jacuzzi. He
We
might
gotta chop
call.
off his
Well,
paycheck.
no. Everybody's out except
It's
Sammy and
disrespectful in
Freddy.
what he does.
Nobody, none of us moved. He never played a hand.
I told you guys, if you guys want 1,001 on him playing tomorrow, I'll book the whole thing.
Flop is 10, king, ace, all hearts.
Bet it, 1,001, I'll let you.
Both players have aces. Neither player has a heart. And as our graphic indicates, this pot is a 100% tie if they both stay in through the hand. The only way this pot couldn't have been a tie was if Freddy Deeb made a spade flush or if Sammy Farha made a diamond or a club flush with 4 clubs or 4 diamonds. But Freddy Deeb doesn't look like he's got a lot of interest in getting involved in this hand right now.
Nope. So Sammy Farha takes down the last pot of the night.
I got an ace too.
I got a good kicker.
What's your kicker?
No heart though. I have no
We
heart.
split it.
Are you serious?
I got ace 9.
I got ace 9 too.
You have ace 9?
Gabe, I got to tell you, this has been one interesting game going on tonight. From Bob Stupak's vanishing act from the table to Freddy Deeb going medieval after someone joked about him going south. There's some bad blood now. Comments are getting personal. How is this going to affect their game from now on?
Going medieval? I think you're watching that DVD of Pulp Fiction too much.
Yeah, probably.
It's hard to say how anyone's strategy is going to be affected. More importantly, it's hard to say if there's going to be any residual hard feelings between Freddy Deeb and the other players, especially between Freddy Deeb and Johnny Chan.
What about Sammy Farha? This guy never gets rattled. He's winning huge pots no matter what the atmosphere is.
I agree. Sammy Farha has made all the right choices tonight.
Farha finished the night up 125 grand, and he's made over 425 grand since he first sat down at the table. I guess someone's got to win and someone's got to lose in this game. Next time on High Stakes Poker, Barry Greenstein's back after a bad beat with pocket aces cost him 180 grand. Now he's got vengeance on his mind.
Nice hand, Barry.
Other poker greats find their way to the table looking to striking rich. And Kid Poker Daniel Negreanu fights back. But will he find new life or get eaten alive?
How much is it?
Watch it all happen next time on High Stakes Poker.